If
If you succeed, you will get a cool mask like mine.
We announced that we've established a long-term exclusive partnership with Bungie and Activision that will ensure PS4 evolves and grows with the incredible Destiny world over the years.
Cool.
Just as exciting
So,
as the
exclusive.
extraordinary games available across
I
the
don't know.
PlayStation ecosystem,
Well, it could mean
is the
exclusive. You never
introduction
know.
of our cloud-based strategy. A few months ago, David Perry from Gaikai discussed the vision behind
Yeah, that's it.
integrating
Gaikai.
Gaikai's advanced cloud-based technology into the world of PlayStation. Today, it's a Gaikai fan out there. Today, we'd like to put a little context around this advancement. Over the past 20 years, PlayStation has created one of the largest gaming libraries in the world.
Yep.
A library that houses some of the most memorable experiences that gamers have ever encountered. The partnership between PlayStation and our vast library of games and Gaikai's cloud-based technology is the next step in giving gamers an all-access experience that will dramatically change how, when, and where they play. I'm happy
So,
to
pretty
announce
much,
that
you won't
PlayStation's
use
cloud
discs
gaming
anymore.
service will be available in 2014, beginning in the US. Our cloud service will provide PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 customers, followed by Vita, with immediate access to a catalog of critically acclaimed PS3 games. These
Nice.
games will be streamed using Gaikai technology. What that means is amazing gameplay that is fast and responsive.
What if you don't have a
PlayStation's
really good
cloud
internet
service
connection?
is a lofty
Yeah,
ambition,
then you
but
run to
one
lower
that
quality,
we
but-
expect to see
Yeah.
evolve rapidly in the coming months. As access to console quality content becomes more seamlessly accessible across a range of devices. We have worked tirelessly to bring the PlayStation
Uh-oh.
ecosystem centered around PlayStation 4 together in ways that meet the demands of today's. The world of console-based, handheld, and cloud-based technology is more expansive than ever before. We will continue to work with the best and brightest developers and media partners to create a portfolio of titles and entertainment that is simply unbeatable. And we'll continue to offer the best value on the market. I'm very proud to announce that PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
Called it!
Yep. 400.
400. Called it. Sony already wins.
Sony has won.
Sony has won the next console wars. What's the
399 euros.
Euros and
And
pounds.
for
Pounds.
folks in my homeland, 349 pounds sterling. In the US and Europe this holiday season, compelling price that offers
That's it, I'm getting a
incredible
PS4.
value, given the amount of entertainment PS4 will
I'm sold.
provide to gamers over the next decade and beyond. Is PlayStation the best place to play? Without
Yes.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Microsoft's bungles.
Yeah.
From Bungie to bungles. Yeah.
The gaming landscape is changing with new business models and new ways to play. But at PlayStation, concepts like true consumer ownership and consumer trust are central to everything we do. With each new platform, we do our very best to earn that trust. And we will continue to prove to you that we have the games, the entertainment, the value, and the innovation to give you the very best place to play. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.
You're welcome. Yeah. So now is it just the lead out? This is just the lead out then?
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, some fan service there.
Well, what was fan service? Where? What?
They had this really nice low-angle shot of this girl with her skirt kind of blowing up in the breeze.
I didn't see it. Thanks, Fraps. Oh, it's all interesting. I still want to know what's up with that like squid guy, the one that can't really walk at all. Like it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see the how this what the Dark Sorcerer. I'm really curious, like.
And Infamous 2. Or Infamous Second Son, rather.
Not Infamous 2. PlayStation. So I guess that's it then.
Next press conference wrap up.
Well, we're gonna have our own wrap up. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. That was a pretty nice conference, and they pretty much answered everything anybody wanted to know. So
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so right, all right. So we're gonna start off. What did you think of it overall?
I think they did a great job. I mean, the only thing I can think of that some people might be disappointed with is Vita owners, because they didn't really do a whole lot there. They had a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, here's our Vita stuff. It's coming, but we really need to focus on PlayStation 4, which they really did need to do.
They did need to do, because they really needed to sell that. And in my opinion, you know, as I said at the beginning of all this, like, for them to win, they need to, one, sell it at a loss, $400, and they need to do it. They need to have features that will please the gamers. Like, they need to please just like about everybody, which they did.
Yeah.
With the whole being able to play used games, not requiring a 24-hour connection.
Games off the disc, actually play the games off the disc and whatnot. That was the loudest cheer anybody at any of these conferences got. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Halo didn't get it. You know, Xbox One's, you know, like...
Xbox One got, like, some cheers, but it wasn't, like, that big crowd.
No,
yeah.
Nowhere near it. It was just like, wow.
So exciting. No always on, no check-ins. No. That's huge.
Yeah, look, they're even talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Smartphones out there right now that cost more than $399.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And me
That's
personally,
true.
I'm really excited that they're going to let me do the used games, because all the 12-year-olds that beat the games in a week.
Anyway, I muted this so I didn't have to listen to them while we did our wrap up. So
yeah.
So whatever you want to do on your end, but
That's really huge.
But anyway, I think they had a lot of great games. I think this conference was probably the best they've ever done.
It was definitely the best of this E3 so far, you know?
Yeah, definitely so.
And considering they're the last one to actually have a full press conference, I mean, they won.
Well, what about Nintendo?
Well, they're doing their Nintendo Direct thing tomorrow morning, but I mean, it's not like the same thing as a press conference. They're not really they're not like renting a theater, you know, or stage somewhere that they're going to present this in.
Yeah, right, exactly, and yeah, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I thought they might have one tomorrow or something, but you know, like an actual like press conference, but.
Yeah, they're doing like a special Nintendo Direct, like centered around like, you know, what they're bringing to the table and whatnot. And then of course they're gonna have, you know, a presence on the show floor, but yeah, they're not doing a traditional like
exclusive first open beta.
Yeah, exactly, and but I mean, you know, aside from all those great features, the one thing I really like is that Gaikai feature. Because the implications of that, you know, was that you'll be able to play PS3 games from there.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean that's great. So even though like you know the PS4 won't be backwards compatible, you know in probably a year after its release, you'll be able to still play your PS3 games as long as they're on the cloud.
You
know.
Which I'm curious how they're going to handle that for those that have owned a PlayStation 3 for years and have a library of games already built up. It's like, are they going to have some kind of option where they can like verify that they own the game, or can they like, I don't know, ship back the disc or something, get a digital thing? I mean, that's not really
That would take too
something
much
to
time.
think of, but
You wouldn't really go through all that. That's a good question.
I mean, it's like, if you have great games, that
Well,
you want to play on the go,
yeah.
particularly if you're a Vita owner, because they can stream it to
Well,
that as well.
Yeah, one thing you could do though is that all of those games have a barcode or some sort of like serial numbers, like on the disc or something. So you could, I guess, potentially, just say, oh, okay, well, in order to verify that you actually do own this, because I mean, even Sony, as great as they are, can't, have, yeah.
Take our word for it. We own this game, and you'll give us.
Yeah, even they can't like just say, "Oh yeah, well we trust you." They still have a business to run, and so yeah. So I mean, what was?
Yeah, I mean, with GameStop's like check out, buy for 7 days, and you can return it for any reason. I mean, people would just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna take 32 games home and copy them over and return them.
Right, exactly. So what I think will happen is like they'll ask you to verify if you have the game by like reading the serial number on the box or on the disc or something.
I don't think most discs have a unique code. I mean, there are some where you have a like DLC voucher or something in them that they could say, okay, yes, this is unique.
Okay, well, what about the barcode?
Well, the barcode on the back's just a barcode,
Oh, that's true.
I mean, anybody could just upload an image and scan and go, unless they were to hand over like ownership of that to like GameStop or something, where you bring in your actual disc and they say, yes, you own this, yes, here it is, and found some way to verify.
Yeah, I know. That would not be the greatest way to do it, because I mean then that would be like, oh man, like let's say I had like 40 PS3 games, I'd have to take like all 40 of them, assuming all of them were supported on the cloud, I'd have to take them all to GameStop to get verified, and
I mean, since there's nothing unique about those games unless they came with like a download code or something initially that can say, yes, I originally purchased this game, I owned it, I still own it, But even then, it's, risk, so.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll figure out some way of doing it, as they work more on it. Perhaps it will be simple as just taking your game to GameStop and such. But like I said, the easiest thing to do would be like if there was some other way to just have like some unique identification code like on the case itself, so that you could just type it in. Well,
it's something they could do going forward, but for the whole back catalog of games.
Yeah.
Because they're releasing games for the PlayStation 3, it's just...
still.
They have, you wouldn't have past games.
So, yeah, I'm not sure at this point, but...
Yeah.
Well, but well, what, I don't know, what else could I possibly say about this one? Well, I still think it's great though that they, say yeah, you can still play, your PS3 games in a sense on the PS4.
Yeah. Or at least a select amount. Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's a really good question though. Would your saves from the PS3 be able to transfer over?
Yeah, that is a very good question, and it depends on where it'd be located and how what systems they have set up. I'm sure there'll be some way to take some content from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4. Anything that's like maybe some PlayStation Network games, but that might just be tied to your account. So it's a good question.
Yeah, maybe maybe once they get this like cloud thing like really up and running with Gaikai, because they also said like PS3 would be able to use it if I heard that correctly.
Yeah.
So
3 Vita and PlayStation.
Yeah, right.
4.
So what they possibly could do is they'll have you like transfer or upload your save files, your save game data to the cloud, so then you could re-download it onto your PS4.
Yeah.
That could be one way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation Plus members, at least, they already have some sort of cloud storage save for their save games, so that'd be easy enough there.
Yeah. And I was going to say, another thing that could be easier, I mean, it wouldn't, well, I guess, no, never mind. No, go ahead. It wouldn't really work.
The other thing I just noticed, though, where I realized during the press conference, is when they were talking about PlayStation Plus and how it would work on the PlayStation 4. They said, if you're already PlayStation if you're already a PlayStation Plus member, that carries over.
Yeah.
But something interesting in the way he presented it was they listed the bullet points for what PlayStation Plus would be, and they said immersive multiplayer experience and whatnot. And then when he said, and for those of you who are not a PlayStation Plus member, you can still enjoy your single player games and, like the network, like something else, and like our media features. And I'm like, wait a second, you didn't say multiplayer.
So you're thinking that if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you'll be able to enjoy multiplayer, but if you're not, then you won't be able to play online with your friends.
You might not be able to. Based on solely what they said just now, that's kind of what it sounded like to me, because they never said, PlayStation 4 would be able to play multiplayer, which I noticed.
Maybe it was a misstep. Maybe they Yeah, maybe they just didn't phrase it right, and I'm sure we're gonna get like tons of interviews. We already have one from Bungie guy right here, but yeah, I'm sure like in interviews like someone's gonna bring that up, and they'll say, oh no, you can still play online. We forgot to mention that. It was a simple mistake kind of thing, or maybe it is. Maybe this is their way of just kind of changing things up to get people, like, to encourage them to actually become a Plus member, because I mean it's less than $5 a month. That's already better than Xbox Live.
Yeah, or maybe also they're trying to they're able to offer the system so low because they have these features in place.
Yeah,
Microsoft
exactly.
was making a ton of money off of Xbox Live that wasn't necessarily needed for sustainability. So I mean, it just kind of seemed like Microsoft was asking for more money, but then not really doing much with it.
Exactly.
So it's like you still have to pay the same price for the console or whatever. It just kind of seemed like, eh. But I mean, he almost paused too when he said it. He's like, you'll still have the single player experience and access to the media, things.
So you're thinking like maybe he just realized, oh, we did not include multiplayer.
Well, the other thing is when they mentioned this,
Yeah.
they mentioned it right after all that good news. No DRM, no, no check-ins. You can sell your disc, you can lend your disc, you can keep it forever. Play it off the disc, offline, whatever you want. And then he mentions, you can play the single-player game offline too in the place if you don't have PlayStation Plus. And then he kind of quickly went on. Like there was just kind of like silence for a second, and I'm like, I wonder if people are silent because they're like, wait, he didn't mention multiplayer, or if they were just like riding that glow from, oh yeah, Sony just said they're not doing DRM, Sony's the one, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't help but catch that and be like, that. I mean, and I honestly wouldn't horribly mind paying $50 a year to have online play, plus those free games, plus, the cloud saving, plus, automatic downloads and everything else you get from it. I mean, they're giving you a good amount of content through that. So.
Yeah, now, here's my question. They say, so the PlayStation Plus, is still going to be a thing. But as we were saying with the multiplayer thing, does that mean, the regular just, PlayStation Network won't be there? Like, is it still going to be free, or is basically PlayStation Plus taking over the whole network?
I mean, it looks like what they're doing is they're going to still have the PlayStation Network for media features and communication and whatnot, and purchasing games. There'll still be the PlayStation Store and so forth. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have that whole community gaming aspect, that would be really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it would hurt them. I mean, not as much as Microsoft's kind of, use Game Pass.
Yeah, it does hurt them in a way, but I still feel that, for, the price that it is, for $50 a year, $5 a month, that
Plus
it's still...
they give you.
What's that?
Plus the content they give you.
Yeah, plus the content you give you. I still think that, even if you have to be a Plus member to play, online multiplayer, that's forgivable. That's like, okay, well, yeah, I preferred it to be a different way, but I mean, $5 a month, sure, I'll gladly pay that.
Yeah, I mean.